What about, like, if we did more Fate? Sounds good, right? We're down for that, right? I think we're down with that. I just need to tweet out, you know, everything. Yeah. And also get the opening ad out of the way. If it'll let me. Maybe it'll let me? I'd like it to. At least we get this sick beat. It also gives time for people to show up. And also time for me to, shrink myself, put myself in a corner. Like so. You don't exit here. My head'll hide the exit. You can't actually leave. You're stuck here. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Book! Congratulations on being first. You are just in time for the start of a stream. Stilton, thank you so much for bringing your chicken to the cafe. Whoa. Your chicken's, getting around these parts. Your chicken's been a regular. Honestly, I think I've gotten used to the sight of your cock. Look. Thank you for bringing your chicken to the cafe. Honestly, your chicken's been pretty regular. I think your chicken gets a little peckish at me and preys on my downfall, but I don't hold it against it. I think... yeah. I think your cock is just affectionate in its own unique way. And with the ad break done, let's go ahead and get on with the show. Where did it leave off? Breakfast is lined up neatly on the table. A perfectly balanced meal of chicken with parsley salad, grilled salmon, blanched spinach, miso soup with radish and carrots, and grated yam soup. It's not affectionate, it just hates me. Yet it keeps coming back. It's not here against its will. It's just here because I think it wants to be, whether it likes it or not. I can't tell. Thank you for the meal. Sakura and I sit down and bow, begin our meal in silence. The gentle tapping of chopsticks is the only sound in the room. Sakura isn't typically talkative, and I hardly have anything to chat about during meals. So, we eat in silence. Normally it's much rowdier than this, but the person who usually causes the commotion must have watched a spy movie or something last night, because she's eyeing the two of us through a newspaper she propped up in front of her food. Miss Fujimura, it may not be wise to read while you eat. Sakura remarks diffidently, but Fujini ignores her. Fujini is acting weird, but her being weird at breakfast isn't really all that weird for her. Sakura's used to it too, and she's eating as if nothing's the matter. Sakura typically cooks up Western dishes. She really only began learning to cook Japanese dishes since she started coming here to help me out. Sakura learned to cook simple Japanese dishes, at least for breakfast, because Fujini and I prefer them. Now, Sakura's cooking skills have improved to the point she's better than me, and I'm the one who was teaching her. Her miso soup is flavorful and refined now, and she's even gotten to the point where she can grate yams to make yam soup. Actually, I think today's the first time she's served yam soup. Sorry. Sakura, could you pass the soy sauce? Here. Oh my, senpai. You've run out of the soy sauce you usually use. Then I can use Fujini's. Pass it over. Miss Fujimura, do you mind? Fujini nods. The newspaper shuffles. Here you go. Are you going to use it for your yam soup? Yeah, everyone puts soy sauce on grated yams. I mean, chat, don't you put soy sauce on your grated yams? I mean, of course. I'm always eating grated yams, right? A line of soy sauce streams from the bottle onto the grated white mound. I stir the mixture up, pour it over my rice, and take a bite. The stickiness of the grated yam combined with the intense flavor of the soy sauce. What the? This isn't soy sauce. It's oyster sauce.
Wow.
Fujini tosses her newspaper onto the table with an enthusiastic flick of her wrists. What do you think of my little stunt, switching the oyster sauce and soy sauce labels first thing in the morning? Hooey. Wow. I know, I went live a little late, like half an hour late, but it's for good reason, I promise. I've been cleaning and getting the house ready for Dad and Grandma to come back. The not-so-mysterious spy punches the air in victory. Feels a stunt like that first thing in the morning. You're going to turn 25 this year, but you're still the same childish Fujini I've always known. That'll teach you a lesson after yesterday. You and everyone else who ganged up on me deserve divine justice. People can't enact divine justice. I knew you were weirdly quiet. I can't believe you've been plotting this since yesterday. You have entirely too much free time on your hands. That's right, and because of that, I really need to get to work grading tests. So I need to skedaddle, or else I'm in real trouble. Fujini sits back down and shovels her breakfast into her mouth. Thanks for the meal. Breakfast was great as usual, Sakura. It was my pleasure. And now I'm heading off. You two will be in trouble if you're late for school. And off she goes, stomping out in a rush. There's something terribly wrong with a world that allows someone like her to be a teacher. Senpai? Sorry that Fujini hardly savored the breakfast you took so much work into making. No, it's not that. What did you do to Miss Fujimura yesterday? She wouldn't usually go as far as to mess with someone's meal. Well, I accidentally called her by her nickname. Well, I guess there's no avoiding her getting angry again. And you didn't apologize? Sorry. I forgot. But only because that kind of stuff happens all the time. Still not good. You know how much Miss Fujimura hates being called by her nickname. You made her cry again, didn't you? Not only did I make her cry, she also ran away like a scared rabbit. And thanks to that incident, yesterday's English class ended up being a study hall. In fact, everyone in class worked together to make an award for me in their notebook paper because of that. I threw it away, obviously. Oh my. Sounds like you brought that on yourself then, Senpai. Fujini is like an older sister to Sakura, so she's typically on Fujini's side. Which is fine on its own, but I wish she would consider the fact that I have to deal with Fujini all day long. Fujini was originally an acquaintance of my old man, and she's swung by the house pretty frequently since I was adopted. She kept on coming over even after my old man died. Now she acts like a freeloader, eating breakfast and dinner every day. Actually, might have been thanks to Fujini that I was able to make it on my own after my old man died. And now, it's me, Fujini, and Sakura who are the residents of this Emiya house. But at the same time, I'm the only one who knows that my old man was a mage. They say mages have to keep that part of their lives secret. Which is why I've also been hiding from others that I'm learning magecraft after I become my old man's apprentice. Learning may be a bit of a stretch, really, since I can barely use magecraft properly. So it wouldn't make much of a difference whether I hide magecraft or not. But since it was my old man's dying wish, I've been training in secret. I finish breakfast and get ready for school. I put away the dishes with Sakura as I listen to the news on TV in the background. Sakura is looking blankly at the TV. A flashy caption reading, "Gas leaks continue," pops up on the screen. There seems to have been a big accident in the neighboring city of Shinto. It happened in a building in the business district. Apparently everyone on one of its floors lost consciousness from oxygen deprivation. Authorities have been calling it an accident resulting from gas leaks. For some reason, these incidents have been happening often. Are you worried about the incident, Sakura? Well, not really. I was just thinking that this happened in Shinto, which is very close to us. Senpai, your part-time job is in Shinto, right? Yeah, but the shop's not that big. I don't think an accident like that would happen there. Howdy. Why do mages wear contemporary clothes? Because no one wants to look at a wizard's sleeve. You're right. You're right. But I can't entirely ignore that idea either. Gas leaks can happen in any building, and it especially pains me to think that hundreds of people have fallen victim. Some say that these accidents are happening because of faulty construction work done during the rapid development projects in Shinto. Either way, I hope there won't be any more victims. It's a disturbing story. We need to be careful too. Well, don't worry about that, Senpai. I always make sure to check that gas stove turned off properly. Twice. She's so smug and proud about that. I can't blame her. I mean, I don't know if Tui's still here, but remember those streamers on Kick that literally started a house fire? Because the burner was on? I don't think oxygen deprivation was to blame for that one. Yeah. Just brain cell deprivation. Sakura proudly proclaims. No, that's not my point. Yep. I've always known Sakura is a little off, too. Senpai, did you lock the back door? I bolted it. Is that a problem? Not at all. And then I'll lock all the doors. What time are you planning to be home today, Senpai? I think I'll be home a little late. What about you, Sakura? I should be back at the usual time. I think I will be back before you, so I'll make preparations for dinner. Yeah, that'll be great. I'll try to come home as soon as possible, too. The gate is locked tight. Sakura and Fujini both have keys to the house, and the rule is that whoever leaves last is in charge of locking everything up. Let's go. You'll be late for morning practice if you don't hurry. Okay, then let's hurry then, Senpai. Sakura and I walk into town. We've walked downhill, along a long wall, to reach a more populated residential area. The Emiya house is located on top of a hill, away from the center of town. Heading down the hill leads us to the residential area. Going further down, we reach the intersection at the center of town. Several roads lead out from the center of town. There's a large bridge that connects to the neighboring town, a hill that leads to Ryudo Temple, a residential area located opposite my house, a shopping district that both Sakura and I often go to, and finally, there's a path that leads to our school. Hey, Dora the Explorer watchers, did you get all that? There'll be a quiz later. Because I didn't get all that. We head straight to school without taking any detours. It's barely 7 o'clock, so there's hardly anyone around. Students making their way to their morning club activities are the only ones to be found along our route. See you later. Good luck at practice. I see Sakura off at the school gate as usual. Sakura's in the Kyudo club, so this is where we usually split off. And yet, Sakura doesn't budge this morning. Sakura, are you not feeling well or something? No, it's not that. Senpai, maybe it's time you come visit the dojo. Well, I don't really have any business at the dojo. Besides, Issei asked me to do something, so I need to go to the student council room. I suppose you're right. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Sakura quickly bows her head. I'll be going then. Please look forward to dinner tonight. Sakura runs toward the dojo, seeming almost apologetic. What was that? I wonder what that was all about. Issei, are you in? I'm here. You're a little late this morning, Emiya. Issei glances up from his desk, looking like he's been studying some papers. Is it just you, Issei? Where's the rest? They should all be at school by now. Well, unfortunately, the rest of the members are all very on the clock. They all have their set work hours, and they don't want to come in early or stay late. So that's why the student council president is doing busy work himself. Guess you've got your own problems to deal with. Well, I live for these sorts of problems. I don't need your sympathy, Emiya. What are you talking about? I'm not sympathizing with you. Well, that's too bad. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. After all, the fact of the matter is that you still care. Issei, who's gathering his papers into a single sheaf and tapping the edge against the table to square them neatly, is the big boss of the student council. He's been working to reform the student council, which has grown quite lax, and he's been a friend of mine since our first year in school. His full name is Issei Ryudo. Despite his old-fashioned sounding name, he has elegant facial features, and he's popular with the girls. He's also the student council president, so you'd think he would have the leg up over everyone else. But that's not exactly the case. Nothing beats a scalding hot cup of tea in the morning. Was I about to say cup of key? Dyslexia is a hell of a drug, folks. Also, having a cold. Having a cold is a hell of a drug. It's saying stuff like that as he sips tea that prevents him from quite sticking the landing. Fine spoonerism from a shining wit. Something like that. As evidenced, Issei is quite plain. He's prone to be misunderstood, yet he neither dabbles in relationships, nor he does what typical students do for fun. Nor does he what... Honestly, that's just a terrible line. Please rewrite it. Thank you. He's the heir of Ryudo Temple, which sits atop a mountain. He himself understands that he will inherit the temple, and there's a strong possibility that he'll shave his head without so much as a complaint as soon as he graduates from school. So, what do you want me to do today? Well, I'd like to tell you to sit down and relax, but we really don't have time. I'll explain as we go, so grab your tools and follow me. Let me get right to the point. Our school's spending habits are quite extreme. I know. The athletic clubs are favored, and there's not much money to go around in other places. Exactly. As a result, the culture clubs get the short end of the stick. I've been trying my best to establish a better budget for the arts, but the money trail's been pretty muddy, which is making my life harder. So the arts are suffering. The lack of heaters during the winter is especially concerning, and I have no solution for that. I see. Hey, hand me the flathead screwdriver. The biggest one. Oh, and give me some conductors, too. Yeah, this one looks salvageable. Conductors? These? Sorry, I don't really know my way around tools. You can get mad if I'm wrong. It's fine, you got it right. So, what about the lack of heaters? Is there anything else that's broken? Yes. The heating system in the second audiovisual room and the art club room might be on its last leg. Forms requesting to purchase new ones are piling up by the minute. And you're saying that there's no room in the budget. Well, this one's just corroded. Good thing the inside's still intact. Oh? Is that one salvageable, Emiya? Yeah, I can fix it. It's a good thing old machines are easy to figure out. The wire's just burnt out, so as long as those get replaced, this should last until the end of the year. Is that so? Way to go, Emiya. I'm glad you're so reliable and helpful. You say some weird stuff, you say. Oh hey, I'm almost done, so go ahead and step out. Got it. I won't get in your way. Issei quietly steps out of the classroom. He might be thinking that I'm going to start on some sensitive work. Well, I guess you can call it sensitive work. I put my hand to the old electric stove. No matter how long someone's been fixing things, they can't usually figure out what's wrong by sight. So the fact that I can means what I'm doing is not ordinary. I close my eyes and look into the stove by touch. And then suddenly, a single image pops into my head. There are two places where the wire's about to break. The electrical pipe should last a bit longer. The power cord should be fine with just insulation tape. Good. I should be able to fix it with just the tools I brought along. If the electrical pipes were broken, it wouldn't be fixable by an amateur. Had that been the case, a certain strengthening would have to be done, which no amateur could manage. But I should still be able to fix this one by sight. This is the magecraft Kiritsugu taught me. Okay, let's begin. I take off the cover to begin my repairs. I already know where it's broken, so the rest of the work is easy. This is the one thing that I'm good at. That's right. I, Shirou Emiya, have absolutely no talent in magecraft. But for some reason, I have a knack for visualizing the structure of things or blueprints, like I did just now. My old man once saw me imagine and recreate a blueprint. He looked surprised, then muttered, "What a useless talent." My special talent appears to be pointless. According to my old man, the fact that I can visualize object structures isn't really helpful. A mage normally wouldn't need to survey an object's entire structure like I do. He claims the mage's struggle is to instantly seek out an object's center, or its core, and transform it as quickly as possible. That's why reading blueprints is a waste of time, and even that only helps seek out areas for magical energy to pass through. And so, fixing broken stuff is one of the only things I'm good at. After all, I don't have to open the entire thing up to find the problem. If I can find the problem quickly, I can fix most things as long as I have the know-how to repair it. Though, I only do that with things an amateur could reasonably be expected to fix. Okay, done. What's next? Put away the conductors, pick up the screwdriver and wrench, and head out to the hallway. Issei, repairs are done. Oh, hey. A female student standing next to Issei in the hallway. Hey, that's us in the prologue. That's Rin. That's Rin Tasaka. Guys, that's Rin. Chat. Rin. Hi, Rin. I like you more than Shirou so far. I'm a little surprised. The girl talking to Issei is Rin Tasaka, a second year, from Class A. She lives in a giant Western-style mansion up on a big hill. She's an extraordinary honor student. She's pretty, smart, athletic, no flaws at all. She's intelligent and polite, and she never brags about her looks. She's truly the ideal girl to guys, apparently. Which is why the male students treat her like an idol. But Tasaka's just too good, and she's become unattainable. The guys all say the only people who can talk to Tasaka are Issei and the teachers. Well, okay, I'm also a guy, and I'm including myself in the list of her admirers. Tasaka is looking at us, annoyed. I guess rumors are true that Issei and Tasaka don't get along. Oh, sorry. I was the one who asked you for a favor, and made you do all the work. Forgive me. Whoa. Issei's pretty gutsy, talking to me and completely ignoring Tasaka like that. Don't worry about it. So what's next? There's not much time. Yeah, next is the audiovisual room. I hear it's been on its last leg for a while. Apparently it's finally given out. Also, hi Gap, sorry. Hello. If it's dead, I won't be able to fix it. It might be better to buy a new one. It might be true, but I'd appreciate it if you took a look at it anyway. I might think it's dead, but it might just be playing dead to you. You think so? And then let me take a look. There's only about 30 minutes until homeroom starts. I'll need to hurry and fix it or I'll run out of time. I head to the audiovisual room, but I realize completely ignoring Tasaka would be rude. It's fascinating seeing Tasaka from the Rin from the other side of the VN perspective, just because she's incredibly thoughtful. So it's wild. I turn to face her since she's been standing there the whole time. You're here early, Tasaka. I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind, and then follow Issei. He's so smooth. Well done, Shirou. You made it just in time. Sorry for all the trouble, Emiya. I'm a bad friend for asking a favor from you and making you late for class. Don't sweat it. Won't be a problem if I'm late. Or it might be an issue if you were late. That's true, but I'm glad we made it. Issei exhales a sigh of relief and heads to his desk. It's exactly 8 o'clock. 5 minutes after the bell for homeroom rings, Fujini will enter the classroom. Oof. My breathing is labored, since I ran from the audiovisual room. I take a deep breath before I take my seat. What's with all the commotion so early in the morning, Emiya? Didn't realize you became Ryudo's whipping boy after you quit our club. Not that I care, but since you have no principles of your own, don't do anything to ruin our rep. Standing in front of my desk is Shinji Mato. He's been a friend of mine since middle school. His last name is Mato, and he's Sakura's older brother. He's 1 year older than her. Yo, things at the Kyudo Club going well, Shinji? Of course. There's no point in telling an outsider like you. But the club's nice and peaceful now that there's one less member trying to hog all the attention. We're definitely going to make waves at the next tournament. Is that so? I guess Mitsuzuri's working real hard. Huh? The hell are you talking about? I'm the only reason the Kyudo Club is setting records. You've been an outsider for a long time, so stop acting like you know it all, or you're going to embarrass yourself. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Besides, I'm not involved with the club, so I won't really concern myself with it much. Put my bag on my desk and pull the chair back. What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying my Kyudo Club's boring to you? I'm not saying that. Just that I'm not involved in all. I'm not a part of the club anymore, so it's not right for me to just drop into the dojo. But if there's anything you need, just let me know. I'll help whenever you need it. I remember you weren't good at fixing and stringing bows. Yeah, thanks. I'll give you a call if there are ever chores to be done. Though I doubt that'll ever happen. Oh, that's good. A captain who leaves busy work behind wouldn't be much of a captain. Just try not to trouble Miss Fujimura. She's terrifying if she gets mad. Mind your own business. Just remember that you're not a member of the club anymore, so don't go near the dojo. And just like that, Shinji heads off to his seat, all self-important bluster, as ever. Huh. He does seem moodier than usual. Unbelievable. How can he talk to you like that? He was the one who kicked you out. Oh, Issei, were you there the whole time? What do you mean? How can you be so cold to me when I was listening attentively to the conversation out of concern for my friend? Huh? What does concern have to do with it? I haven't done anything worth worrying about. Fool, of course I'm concerned. You have a short fuse. Now granted, if you punched Shinji, that would have gotten you some applause, but it probably wouldn't make the girls happy. It wouldn't be right for me to put a friend in my friend in such an unpleasant position. I get it. Yeah, good point. Thanks, Issei. I don't think that would ever happen, but I appreciate the concern. Good, as long as you understand. But I was surprised. You usually get mad at the drop of a hat, but you're pretty tolerant with Mato. Yeah, but Shinji's been like that for as long as I've known him. You get used to it. Guess that's how it is. It is. Now come on, go back to your desk if you're satisfied. It's almost time for Miss Fujimura to dash in. More like float in. The bell to start homeroom rings. Normally, the homeroom teacher comes into the classroom 5 minutes before homeroom starts, but our teacher isn't what you'd call typical. Homeroom for Class 2C typically starts 1 minute after the starting bell. In other words... I'm late. Homeroom starts with the sound of Fujini's shouts and hurried footsteps. Okay, I made it. Good morning, Fujini tumbles, and I hear some kind of unnatural sound. And that's how we start an ad break. Why not? I'll take it. This is the music for an ad break, I guess. What is this song for what is clearly like a slice of life part of the novel? Whatever. I'm drinking. That is my actual mom in the chat. Hi, Mom. How are you doing? Hopefully I don't sound too sick on stream. Contrary to the hectic sounds of a few seconds earlier, the classroom is now dead silent. The mood shifts sharply. It's no wonder Fujini is called a human roller coaster. But honestly, the way she fell didn't seem like a laughing matter. Fujini hit her head against the podium, and she's still lying on the floor. Seeing her lying there, face down and unmoving, has everyone imagining the worst. Hey, someone up front. Wake her up. No, I don't want to. She'll probably, like, bite me or something if I get too close. She's not a mimic. Miss Fujimoto wouldn't do that. Well, why don't you wake her up then? Pass. Hate stuff like this. I don't like it either. And you were going to make a girl do it? The boy should step up and take control. The students in the front row start to get rowdy. Those of us sitting in the middle rows can't see what's going on. So we all stand up to get a look. Hey, she's not moving. Did she faint? Someone brings up the obvious. But the problem is, how would we get Fujini to the infirmary? We're all like comrades in arms after our time dealing with Fujini. Probably nobody's thrilled by the idea of taking a teacher to the infirmary. Miss Fujimura, are you okay? A brave girl approaches. Fujini isn't moving. The class grows more concerned. That didn't look good. Her head literally slammed the corner of the podium. If that didn't hurt her, she really is invincible. Maybe we can recruit her for the baseball team? That's more like a threat. The moment the Tiger becomes the head of the baseball team, we'll all be bound for the big Koshien tournament. Miss Fujimura. Miss Fujimura! It's no use. She's not responding. Hey, you're right next to her. Wake her up. What? I don't want to. If she's dead, I'll be good as dead too. But things could get worse if we just leave her. But nobody wants to get near her. Fine. And we have no choice but to go with our last resort. Yeah. That. Everyone's on the same page. Except Shinji and I. We keep quiet because the two of us dared not be a part of what was about to happen. Ready? Wake up, Tiger. Comes out a whisper, even with so many students speaking in unison. The word tiger is especially inaudible. And yet... Twitch. Fujini's previously motionless body reacts. Whoa, she moved. This might be working, everyone. No, this really, unironically, feels like an episode of Dora the Explorer right now. Can we talk about it? Let's talk about it. Keep going. It's the punishment of the tiger. Everyone must be on edge since midterm tests are approaching. It's a terrible idea on their part, but some students start to wave their arms and chant Fujini's nickname. Wake up, Tiger. It's morning. You need to tiger up. Don't give in, Tiger. Stand up, Tiger. They just couldn't give her the nickname Tigger, huh? Come on, wake up. Time to wake the sleeping tiger. Jesus Christ. Don't call me Tiger! Dear Lord, like a sudden bolt of lightning striking, Fujini stands valiantly, as if the fall hardly scratched her. Huh? What are you all doing? You guys shouldn't get out of your seats during homeroom. Come on, get back to your seats and we'll begin. Fujini, back to her normal self, stands at the podium. Where she recalled nothing between the time she jumped into the classroom and the time she woke up. Hey, Becker doesn't remember anything. Sweet. We're lucky this morning. I don't know if you can call this lucky, honestly. The students shuffle back to their desks. Hmm? Did someone just mock me? No, absolutely not. Must be your imagination. Really? Then okay. We're going to start morning homeroom, so everyone listen up. Fujini casually starts homeroom. She always goes on digressions between announcements, so it goes slowly. Which is why everyone should go home at an appropriate hour. The gates close at 6, so everyone doing club activities shouldn't stay any longer than necessary. But 6 is so early, Tiger. Don't the athletic clubs get an exception? They will not. And Goto, you'd better call me Miss Fujimura. The next time you call me by my first name, I'll get mad, okay? Yes, ma'am. I'll be careful next time. Goto sits back down. He doesn't seem particularly remorseful. Easy. When Fujini says she gets mad, she gets mad. Doesn't matter if it's with a teacher or a student. And that is as close to a serious warning as she's ever going to give. But Goto doesn't realize it. That's it for today's homeroom announcements. I'll see you all at third period's English class. Fujini waves and leaves. So that was Taiga Fujimura, the teacher of room 2C. Her nickname, Tiger. That might seem like a joke, but it isn't. She's got the nickname because it sounds like her name, Taiga, but Fujini hates it. According to her, it doesn't sound feminine. But she got the nickname because of how she acts, so she kind of had it coming. Class will begin. Class duty. Lead the greeting. As Fujini exits the room, the first period teacher enters. Because Fujini takes up almost all the homeroom time, mornings are always like this for our class. And so, another day of classes ends. There are many types of students. Some immerse themselves in club activities, some hurry home, and some hang out in the classrooms after class for no particular reason. I don't really fit in any of those categories. Do you have a minute, Emiya? Picking back up with what we did this morning. Do you have some more time? Well, not like I don't have any plans. It's not as if I don't do anything at all. The biggest reason I quit the Kyudo Club in the first place was that I wanted to prioritize my part-time job. It's been 5 years since I started part-time jobs to earn money for living expenses on my own after my old man died. And when you do so many different jobs, there are some requests you just can't say no to. Today is one of them. I was asked to help restock some product for a bar, since they wanted as many strong helping hands as they could get. I'm sure I don't have to go help. The bar is likely asking everyone as an excuse to gather some folks and hang out afterwards. There are two options. I should... An actual choice. That's wild. Alright. Well, I want to help my friend. I mean, Issei seems like a bit of a hard-ass, but I don't really need to go to a bar, you know? The stuff from this morning is unfinished, so I should at least finish what I started. Change of plans. You want me to finish what we started in the morning, right? Leave it to me. I'll finish all repairs before exams start. That'll be helpful. Let's go check on our patient in the art club. Sure thing. Oh, but make sure there's nobody around. I can't concentrate when there's people around. Of course. I won't let anyone get in your way. Keeping up with Issei's brisk pace, I follow him out of the classroom. The sun has long since set by the time we step outside the building. The school gate is already closed. It's 7 o'clock, way past the time they close the gates. But thanks to Issei's help, the two of us avoided trouble. You really helped me out today. I'll repay you for this, so don't hesitate to ask me if anything comes up. Sure. I don't think anything will come up, though. I didn't help him because I wanted something in return. I don't think I would ask Issei for anything impossible. Honestly, you might have to reconsider being such a good guy all the time. Having you around is certainly helpful, but I can't stand when other people use you for their own ends. Helping people may be a good thing, but you should be more selective about who you help. You just do everything everyone asks. You think so? Am I really that much of a pushover? And that means heartless idiots are going to use you as they wish. You're a busy man, so it wouldn't hurt for you to decline requests from time to time. I honestly can't tell, but I think Issei is concerned for me. Ever since middle school, I've always been told how helpful I am since I never decline requests or ask anything in return. I guess Issei thinks that's unhealthy. But I'm only doing this because I want to, and I decline any requests I feel are impossible. So there's no issue. You really don't need to worry about this. I know myself and my limits. Besides, helping people is a good thing, and not the sort of thing the son of a temple should be telling anyone not to do. But you take it to an extreme. You're going to burn yourself out. I'll keep your warning in mind. See you tomorrow at school. See you tomorrow. Issei leaves, looking dissatisfied. Issei lives in Ryodo Temple, located on top of a mountain, which means he and I have to go our separate ways. I walk through the still darkened town. It's about 7:30. There should still be people out and about at this hour, but there are no signs of anyone around. Oh, right. There was a crime committed in Miyama the other day. A burglar murdered someone, I think. Must be why there's no one around, and why the school curfew has been set to 6 o'clock. Gas leaks and burglars, huh? Seems like it's getting dangerous around here. No wonder people are avoiding walking around at night. It's probably not safe to let Sakura go home on her own anymore. Fujini might be fine, but Sakura's house is in the residential area on the other side of town. Guess I should walk her home starting tonight. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing. I must be wrong. I sense a presence on the uphill path I was sure was empty. Whoever it is, they're standing still and look to be peering down at me. I unconsciously hold my breath. A girl with silvery hair smiles and walks down the path without making a sound. And as she passes by, you better summon one soon, or you'll die, big brother. What she says makes no sense. I climb up the hill and reach my house. The lights are already on, which means Sakura and Fujini are home. The moment I step into the living room, I smell the delicious aroma of dinner. Sakura and Fujini are both eating at the table. Tonight's meal is chicken stewed in cream sauce, and it's put Fujini in an especially good mood. Welcome home, senpai. Please excuse us for eating ahead of you. Thanks, and sorry for being late. I should have come home earlier. That's fine. You still made it in time. Please wait while I prepare your plate. Okay, thanks. I'll go wash up, so keep an eye on Fujini to make sure she doesn't eat my portion. Yes, I'll do that. I go to my room. The sparse room compared to the storehouse, but it's still decorated enough considering I don't have any particular hobbies. Most of them are random things Fujini just left here. After I wash my hands and change, I head back to see my food on the table. Thank you for the meal. Please dig in. I hope you like it. Sakura is humble as ever. Sakura's cooking skills have vastly improved over the past year. My cooking is no match for her Western foods. My Japanese dishes might be a little better. Neither of us is very good at making Chinese dishes. I'm glad to know she's improving, but it's also a little depressing when the pupil surpasses her master. It really is delicious. The longer you cook chicken, the tougher the meat gets. Which is why you need to take the extra step of grilling the chicken to a crisp to seal in its juices and flavor. This requires exceptional skill, and it's something that clumsy Fujini would never be able to manage. What do you think, senpai? I think today's dish turned out quite well. Laz, you're here! You're watching Fate's Day Night! And, like, this is still really early on in the first route. I finished the prologue, but, I mean, we're still leading up to the events that happen in the prologue, just from Shirou's point of view, instead of Rin's. So, you're still in the slow build-up phase. Where's your blonde husband you miss? Soon, soon. What do you think, senpai? I think today's dish turned out quite well. Plate's here. The cream sauce is perfect. My cooking can't hold a candle to your Western dishes. Yep. Ever since Sakura started cooking, all her meat dishes have gotten better. Fujini, who's been concentrating on her meal until now, pipes up. And you're in trouble, Shirou! Students shouldn't stay out so late at night. She looked to be in good spirits thanks to Sakura's meal, but the moment she sees my face, her mood turns sour. I bet you were helping someone again. It's fine, but you really should be coming home early for now. Don't you remember my homeroom announcement how it's not been safe lately? I'm speaking directly to you, Shirou. You really don't need to make a homeroom announcement for something you could just tell me at home. Hi, Guadaman, how are you doing? You've got a sub, so you get ad-free viewing. I am reading out Fate Stay Night, Remastered. The entire game, from start to finish. Done with the prologue in Chapter 1. Or in the beginning of the actual game proper, in the first route. Because you play the routes in order. Right. Okay. You wouldn't listen if I told you here, though. You're more likely to listen if I tell you at school. It seems like an abuse of authority. Or at least mixing business with private matters. Nope. This is just what I have to do to make things sink in for Shirou. He always gets the short end of the stick because he's busy helping everyone. That idiot should come straight home once in a while and relax a bit. Huh? Who are you calling an idiot? What's wrong with helping people? I'm not losing out on anything as long as someone benefits from my help. You're starting to sound like Kiritsugu. That mindset has your big sister worried, Shirou. Seeing Fujini eating so heartily makes me wonder what exactly she's worried about. Miss Fujimura, just from that conversation, are you saying Senpai has always been like this? Yep, always. He's the type who would lend a helping hand whenever there's someone in need. It's not that he meddles in things, but he's always been a bit precocious. Fujini grins menacingly. Fujini, I'm going to get mad if you say anything you shouldn't. And you shouldn't ask such silly questions, Sakura. I glare at the two. Fujini licks her tongue in disapproval, but... Miss Fujimura, please continue. Yeah, we are way too early for death. The only death so far has been a burglar murdering someone in their house and the curfew being 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. And a gas leak from oxygen deprivation in a building, I guess. Sakura presses on, like an attentive student. And let me explain. You see, Shirou just can't help himself when he sees someone in need. It's like helping the weak and subduing the strong. When he was younger, he wrote an essay that said he wanted to be a hero of justice. Quit bringing up the past, Fujini. I can't really jump in, though, because it's true. Besides, becoming a hero of justice is still my goal. Wow. You were a really wonderful child, Senpai. It was astonishing. He would swoop in to rescue a little girl from getting bullied by a boy twice her age, and he tried his hardest at doing housework because Kiritsugu was such a slob at home. He was so cute and innocent back then. I'm not sure how he got to be the stubborn, disobedient boy he is today. That's on you, Fujini. That's what happens with children when they have bad role models. And if you want to say something to that, try making an entire meal all on your own. What? Fujini is shocked. I thought she would just lower her head and repent, but... Big sister's so sad. Sakura, thirds, please. She holds out her rice bowl, asking for a third helping of dinner. We relax after dinner, and it's almost 9 o'clock. Well, what should I do? There's still some time before my evening training. I guess I'll... Well, didn't we say we'd walk Sakura home? Wasn't that the whole thing? Wasn't that the whole thing? That was the whole thing! I haven't thanked Sakura for cooking dinner yet, so I should talk to Sakura. It's getting late, so I should walk her home. Sakura just finished cleaning up, and she's in the living room getting ready to go home. Senpai, I thought you were taking your bath. I'll take my bath later, after I walk you home. You're going to walk me home? Yeah. It's been dangerous at night lately, so I'll walk you home. Your house is a pretty long walk, so let me at least do this. You go out of your way to come here. Sakura purses her lips awkwardly. Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry. I appreciate your concern, but you should rest. I know my way home from here, and I should be fine alone. Be so, but it really hasn't been safe recently. I'll walk you home at night for a while. But, well, it will cause trouble for you if my brother sees you. I forgot. Sakura's older brother Shinji doesn't really like Sakura coming over to my place. He can't say much because Sakura says she goes to Fujini's house, but me taking her home might cause problems. I don't care if Shinji accuses me of something I didn't actually do, but I don't want him taking it out on Sakura. But it wouldn't be a problem if I only walked you halfway, right? There's no way we'll see Shinji at the intersection. Sakura is uncomfortably silent. Knowing Sakura, she probably couldn't even lie about the fact that I walked her home. Hey, then how about... Want me to walk her home? An English teacher wearing tiger stripes suddenly pokes her head through the door. That really doesn't fix anything. My concern is that a girl's walking alone at night, so adding another girl would be... Wait a minute. Calling me Fujini a girl may be a bit of a misnomer. There's a reason Fujini is the teacher in charge of the Kido Club. She was trained by old man Fujimoto in Kendo, and her 5th rank designation makes her deadly, literally and figuratively. I guess it wouldn't be a problem if you went Fujini. I bet you could beat the crap out of any perverts who might try to strike. Of course I can! And that's why walking Sakura home is not a problem. Are you good with it, Sakura? Yes, as long as it's okay with you. That settles it. Let's get going. I was just thinking I should go home too. Fujini takes Sakura's hand and starts to leave. Oh, hold on a minute, Sakura. What is it, senpai? Dinner was good. Thank you. Of course. As long as you don't mind, I'll keep working on my cooking, senpai. Sakura beams and leaves the living room. I can tell my cheeks are burning red. Honestly, Sakura takes me by surprise a lot lately. It's perplexing. Time sure flies. Not so long ago, she was just my friend's little sister. Now, I find sometimes I can't quite look away from her. It's so pathetic. I've always thought of Sakura as being like family, but I can't seem to readily accept this change. That is how my day ends. Just before midnight, Shirou and Emiya must perform the daily routine of utilizing magecraft. I cross my legs, take my position, and regulate my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and turn my focus inward. I mutter the familiar incantation, as if putting myself in a spell. No, this is a kind of hypnosis. With no magic crest and no magical knowledge, the incantation I mutter is really just a way to focus myself and change my body. Typically, humans do not have any lines which allow magical energy to pass through their body. To temporarily change my body to create a pseudo-version of the lines, I need enough concentration to unify my entire physical and nervous systems. Magecraft is a battle within yourself. For example, I insert a burning steel rod into my backbone. The steel rod itself is the one and only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. By passing this deep within my body and connecting it to my other nerves, I can finally be a mage. This is not a metaphor. And if you look closely, a series of metal rods, which cannot normally be seen or touched, pierce my backbone. I'm a magician. Kiritsugu Emiya was a mage. He was a true mage who disciplined himself in a wide variety of mystics, plumbed the deeper secrets of the world and its workings, and even performed miracles. And as a young child, I admired Kiritsugu and begged him to teach me magecraft. But you can't just become a mage. You have to be born with talent and inherit a tremendous amount of knowledge. I obviously never had that inborn talent, and Kiritsugu never imparted any knowledge about magecraft to me. I was told it wasn't necessary for me. Something like that. I still don't understand what he meant by that, but it didn't matter to me as a child. I always thought learning magecraft would bring me that much closer to being like Kiritsugu. I was blessed neither with talent, that is, an abundance of magic circuits within me, nor was generations of magecraft knowledge handed down to me. The magecraft Kiritsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the Emiya family, can only be passed on to a blood relative. The magic crest, which is proof one is a mage, rejects any not blood-related. As an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's crest. Then again, since I honestly don't have any idea what the hell a magic crest even is, it doesn't matter much whether I have one or not. It's just a matter of gaining the ability. If I want to be a mage, I just have to learn magecraft that suits the traits that I do have. Magecraft is, taken to its extreme, a skill supposedly meant to release magical energy. You could say that magical energy is a life force. Magical energy is separated into two sources: mana, which comes from the world's atmosphere, and odd, which is created within living creatures. Obviously mana, which comes from the world itself, is superior to odd. The sheer power of the world's mana is simply not even comparable to the odd one human could create. No matter what form it takes, magecraft utilizing mana will always surpass anything created from an individual's odd. So a powerful mage is one who excels at drawing magical energy from the world. It's a lot like a filtration system. A mage will use their own body circuits to draw in mana from outside and convert it into something usable. Mages call the circuits they use to accomplish this magic circuits. This is the inborn talent part. The number of magic circuits one has is determined at the moment of birth. Typically, humans have hardly any magic circuits. They're normally quite rare. That's why mages will spend generations trying to ensure their descendants have a body more suitable for magic. Some families even go as far as to practice selective breeding in order to increase the number of magic circuits in their children. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to drink some water since we're in an ad break. Okay. And since I was raised in a normal family, I never had a chance of having much in the way of magic circuits. That left me only one option. According to Kiritsugu, everyone is well suited to one specific form of magecraft. He also said something about drawing out magical energy based on the person's origin, but I never quite understood that part. What I do understand is that even someone like me can use at least one form of magecraft. If I can do that, then maybe I can be like Kiritsugu. And that's why I've only learned this one magecraft. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsugu took me on as his disciple, though he never seemed happy about it. Listen, Shirou. Learning magecraft means leaving behind common sense. You die when the end comes for you, and you kill when you must. Life isn't at the core of what we do. Death is. Magecraft is walking the path of self-destruction. I guess I knew no fear as a child. Kiritsugu smiled bitterly, placing a hand atop my head as I nodded enthusiastically. What I'm about to teach you is the sort of thing that could cause conflict. So, you should never use it in front of anyone, and you should never forget your training. because it's difficult. Then again, you don't really need to follow it either. The most important thing is that you must always remember that Magecraft is to be used for others, not for yourself. And that would make you simply a user of Magecraft, rather than a mage. I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to be a mage, but I didn't care about that. I admired Kiritsugu, not mages. As long as I can be the sort of person who lives to help others, like Kiritsugu on the day of fire and nightmare. I got distracted. I feel the uncomfortable sensation of the iron rod in my backbone moving where it shouldn't. Losing control of my breathing now would be fatal. Pseudo-magic circuits would overwhelm my body and shred it to pieces. And that would be the end of me. Shirou Emiya would simply be a novice who died because he failed at an elementary step. I grit my teeth and try to recover my connection. After pain like walking through a storm of needles, the iron rod finally sinks deep within my body and fuses with me. I've been working on this for a little over an hour. And after all that time, I'm finally able to create one pseudo-circuit. A circuit capable of creating magical energy using my own self. Basic structure. Analyze. All that's left is to allow the magical energy to flow naturally. Shirou Emiya is no mage. He's just a user of Magecraft who can only create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. And that's why I can only do one thing with this Magecraft, which is opposition, analyze, enhancing objects. It's just strengthening Magecraft, where I apprehend an object structure and channel magical energy to temporarily reinforce its abilities. Basic structure. Alter. I hold a broken iron pipe. I pass magical energy through it to execute the most basic Magecraft, to enhance its durability. Passing magical energy into something other than yourself is like mixing poison. My blood is a far cry from the blood of an iron pipe. Forcing an entirely different sort of blood through an object may well destroy it, rather than enhance it. To prevent that from happening, I need to properly understand an object's structure and pass magical energy into it between the small vacant spaces. Composition. Reinforce. This may be easy for a skilled mage, and since I have a hard time generating magical energy in the first place, even a task like this is as difficult as shooting an arrow and hitting a target several hundred meters from you. A typical archery target is 28 meters away, so it goes without saying how hard it would be to hit a target at 10 times that distance. My body temperature suddenly plummets. The fiery pillar passing through my backbone disappears, and my lungs seize in desperate need of oxygen. My back arches in an effort to keep me from passing out. Damn. I failed again. The iron pipe is unchanged. The magical energy I passed into it appears to have dispersed. Damn. Adding to something that already has a set form is hard. What I'm attempting to do is like adding an extra brushwork to a completed work of art. Adding something extra to a completed object raises the risk of compromising the object's integrity. So like when Bob Ross adds trees to an artwork that should already be finished, that he should just put his name on, and he says, well, you know what, everyone? Let's get brave. It's your world. You can do what you want with it. What I'm saying is Bob Ross is the ultimate mage. That's what I'm saying, everyone. But no. The paintbrush, hoping to improve, may actually devalue the work instead. Which is why, despite its simplicity, strengthening Magecraft is so difficult. and not many mages willingly use it. And it's not like I chose this, but it's really all I can do. It would be much easier if I could make something from shapeless clay, but a substitute that just recreates its form is all show and no substance, which explains all the junk around. Whenever I fail at strengthening magecraft, I try to make substitute objects to practice and calm down on, but they all end up empty. I can visualize the structure of an object easily, and I can recreate something very similar, but it's hollow, and obviously doesn't function at all. I wipe the sweat off my brow. I realize I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. If this is as bad as it got, I should consider myself lucky. What happened earlier was really bad. Had I taken even a second longer to recover, my internal organs would probably be mush about now. If only pushing myself to the brink of death helped me improve, there'd be some hope here. But nothing comes that easily. At the same time, fear of death would stand in the way of improving my magecraft. Learning magecraft means courting death at every turn. Even rudimentary, everyday magecraft can spin wildly out of control from a single mistake, ending the caster's life. The very first thing a mage must do is resolve to accept death. Kiritsugu always looked sad whenever he brought that up. Maybe it was his way of saying that he didn't want me getting into any of this. Saving one person means not saving someone else. Being a hero of justice means you need to be an extremely egocentric person. And that was always his line. Kiritsugu always said that whenever I mentioned wanting to be like him. I still don't know what he meant by that. All I'm certain of is that I want to save people. Be a hero of justice, like Kiritsugu Emiya. But I can't even manage the basics. I'm such an idiot for letting myself get distracted in the most crucial moment. It's not enough for me to just grasp at the object structure visually. A skilled mage would be able to focus only on the crucial areas and efficiently channel magical energy. My dream is to become a hero of justice. I remember what Fujini mentioned at dinner. I never really thought of that goal as embarrassing or impossible. That Shirou Emiya will succeed Kiritsugu Emiya has already been decided. That's why I've been doing everything I can despite how sorely I lack in experience. I don't know exactly what it means to be a hero of justice. But because I don't know, I've trained myself to be to the best of my abilities, in hopes I'll be useful to somebody. I haven't taken my eye off that goal these past 5 years. But whenever things start to go wrong like this, I start to have doubts. I just don't get it, old man. What the hell do I have to do? Be a hero of justice. I look up at the sky through a window. It's not just about being good for someone out of the blue. Saving someone and being a hero of justice are two different things. I know that. But what do I have to do to differentiate them? I've yet to understand that crucial concept for the past 5 years. February 1st. Hi, Cello. I am reading Fate Stay Night, and we're on day 2 of the first route. Cheetos! I awake to darkness. I guess I'm not much for dreaming. Unless something big happens, I always have the same dream anyway. Something about the Euro of Justice, you're right. Dang, that sounds good. Ever go to a Greek place that offers you a Fate Stay Night inspired menu? If you haven't, then that's a problem. Hello, Dutch No. Pot friend time. Pot friend. I always envision a sword. I have no idea why, but that's the only thing that pops into my head. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Perhaps this is what defines me as, well, me, as Shirou Emiya. I don't have any dreams of my own. The only things on my mind while I sleep are what others taught me long ago. For example, on how to be a mage. Even if I'm not a full-fledged mage, it's only natural for a mage to be aware of the world they're in. Put simply, a mage is an irregular, an outcast from society. But even outcasts need to band together to survive. My old man told me there's a society of mages called a Mages Association. He also told me I shouldn't ever get involved with them. The Mages Association is said to conceal the existence of magecraft and manage mages. The Mages Association watches over mages and makes sure their magecraft doesn't affect society. But the strange thing is that they don't really prohibit mages from abusing magecraft either. According to Kiritsugu, the Mages Association is only interested in concealing mystics. Even if, say, a mage carried out an experiment that sacrificed, let's say, a lot of citizens, the association wouldn't punish them. Their priorities are expressly in preventing the public from becoming aware of magecraft, which does not mean magecraft is completely banned. Honestly, anything goes as long as the truth doesn't come out. At least, that seems to be how that insane bunch conducts themselves. Whatever it is, the Mages Association's surveillance is absolute. Typical magecraft research sacrifices the lives of ordinary humans, which in turn risks revealing the existence of magecraft to the world. As such, the Mages Association doesn't permit research that would harm society. Ultimately, mages conduct their research in their privacy of their homes, while the world is none the wiser. Some mages sometimes go into hiding to escape the association's scrutiny and oversight. So there may be some mages living in this town, and I just don't know it. I also hear Fuyuki is a spiritual hotspot of sorts. That probably means there's some prestigious mage with a storied history living here. They're called second owners. Elite mages the association entrusts to watch over territory. Other mages who live in the same area must visit these second owners first to get permission to build their workshops. My old man was an outlaw who cut ties with the association and moved here without the consent of Fuyuki's second owner. So, in a way, our family is a bunch of trespassers living in a house without permission from the landlord. Which means the second owner doesn't know that Kiritsugu Emiya is a mage. So I tend to feel like our family's status as mages is kind of unclear. But then my old man, the bona fide mage, died. And even though I'm his disciple and son, I don't know a thing about the Mages Association, and have no real knowledge about being a mage. I have a feeling the association would want to dispose of someone like me, but they haven't made any sort of move. Apparently, the Mages Association doesn't have many eyes in Japan, so that's probably why I haven't been found yet. But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. The eyes of the Mages Association are said to be everywhere, and if someone commits a crime using magecraft, the church's heretic hunters will make their move. Using magecraft, however half-assed you may be about it, makes you enemies. So with all that in mind, I honestly just want to study being a mage on my own. I wake up as the sunlight starts to pour in through the window. Looks like the sun's just now coming up. It's still dark out. It's cold. Waking up in the morning is getting tough. I get up, trying not to let the morning cold discourage me, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. I've always been an early riser, no matter how late I go to bed. I might mess up once in a while, like yesterday, but that's rare. Okay, breakfast. I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, so it would look kind of bad if I didn't return the favor this morning. I should hurry up and finish making breakfast before Sakura comes. I cook rice and make miso soup. Yesterday the soup had daikon, radish, and carrots, so I'm making onion and potato miso soup today. I make the egg omelet and use the leftover konnyaku to simmer it with bonito flakes. I make incisions into the sari fish, which will be the main dish, and sprinkle it with a little salt. All I have to do is broil it, but that can wait until the last minute. Okay, that'll do it. It's almost 6. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some time on my hands. So what should I do with this extra time? Guess I'll work up a quick set if I have some... Sweat if I have so much time. It's true, Laz! He's a house husband, what can I say? My lord. Shirou, what do you... Morning exercise is my daily routine, so I might as well do some light workouts. So, anime watchers, how much of this actually made its way into any of the anime adaptations? I'm talking the Studio Dean ones or the Ufotable ones. I know the visual novel is a lot more descriptive and a lot more detailed in the moment-to-moment. So I'm wondering how much of the build-up, like the world building and slow start, actually made it. Morning exercise is my daily routine, so I might as well do some light workouts. The hushed atmosphere of an empty dojo encourages one to focus. And in the morning, just as the sun rises, its serenity makes the mood even more sacred, enthralling whoever visits the site. Anyway. There was like one cooking scene, and there was episode 0, it was Rin's perspective and anything. Okay, so the episode 0 covered the prologue from Rin's perspective. Good. Alright. Other than that, nothing, huh? That's crazy. Anyway. There's only one thing I can do here. Ever since my old man died, the dojo's turned into just a gym to train my body. Training to be a mage means I can't neglect training my body. One of the conditions of being a mage is maintaining yourself at your physical peak. When Kiritsuga was still alive, he and I sparred often. Well, more than he just kicked my ass every time, so I never really learned how to win myself. But at least I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between killing and beating an opponent, and how to conduct myself in each situation. Knowledge and experience are different. Without the knowledge to know the difference, it's hard to tell if you've gotten yourself into a fight or a massacre. It's as simple as that. Learning magecraft means that there's a risk of perishing on your own, as well as the risk of having to fight. And to mages, that means killing each other. That's why Kiritsuga wanted to teach me that I must always be ready to face death. But the person reminding me of that lesson is long gone. So the only thing I can do alone is some simple exercises. Guess I better get on with it. Hey, when are we getting fitness boxing with Fate characters? I want Saber to be my instructor. After I stretch to warm up, I focus on my inner strength and begin exercises. My exercises, my bad. As I train my body, I assess how my magic circuits affect my blood flow, my skeletal frame's creaking, the fatigue I feel, and how much that all distracts my thoughts. 120, 150, 170. Even simple push-ups can train my magic circuits as long as I focus on my mental state, rather than putting physical weights on my body. With no proper mentor teaching me magecraft, morning training is no different than what most sports clubs do. And they have become very important for me. No Shirou abs close-up CGs. This remake sucks. It does suck. Especially since it's called Remastered and not Remake. Even the art is just expanded. It's not like... It's in the same art style. Morning, Senpai. Did you finish preparing breakfast already? Like, that's straight out of 2004 right there. That's some 2004 art right there. It's just in 16:9 instead of 4:3. They expanded all the CGs. And no, they didn't crop them. That people thought, oh, they're just going to crop them to 16:9. No, they were like literally... They drew expanded frames for all of them. Which is crazy. Bro, you were born that year? Anyway. Yeah, it's all done. All that's left to do is set the dishes and grill the fish. That was the year you got beef with the government? Oh lord. An eventful year. Like on a philosophical... Oh! Oh. I understand. That was the year of your awakening. I understand, Boots. For Dutch Note, it was the year of his literal awakening. But I understand where you're coming from. I got you. Yeah, it's all done. All it's left to do is set the dishes and grill the fish. Oh, I'll help. Leave the dishes to me. Sakura is clearly eager in her reply. And coming in behind the ever-dependable Sakura... I saw Shirou's omelet. So he handled breakfast this morning, huh? Fujini casually heads to the table. Oh, let's just ignore her for now. I need to grill the prepared fish. On the bright side, the visual novel, or the anime's voice actors all did the voice acting for the characters here. They did that back with the... If not the PS2 version, then the version after that. So that's a lot of voice acting. They never did any English dubbing, though, unfortunately. Sakura, use the middle set of plates. The food will look better on those. Eh? The plates with bumps on the surface? Yeah, those. Grilled meats tend not to look good if you don't plate them, though. And I've already graded the daikon. Sakura reaches far to take out the plates. She reaches out. I think I see a faint bruise on the back of her hand. Sakura, hold on a minute. Yes, what is it? What's that bruise on your hand? Oh. She averts her eyes, looking uneasy. Her reaction makes how she got the bruise clear. Is it Shinji again? Can't believe he beats his own sister. That's not it, senpai. Well, I got this when I fell. You know how clumsy I am. So I'm always falling and getting myself hurt. How stupid do you think I am? Nobody gets bruises like that just from falling. Seems like Shinji needs some sense smacked into him. Senpai, my brother really has nothing to do with this. I just hurt myself, so there's no need for you to be angry for me. The only thing that creates you more than violent hierarchy of the state is domestic violence. Well, we're gonna... I feel like we're about to dish out some Shinto street justice. Sakura... or, Fuyuki street justice, my bad. Sakura falls silent. Sakura may seem docile, but she's surprisingly stubborn. It's no use saying anything to her now. Fine. If you say so, leave it at that. Yes. I'm sorry, senpai. Why are you apologizing? Shinji's the one in the wrong. Oh, when I say Shinji's name, Sakura awkwardly looks away. I only mean he's the cause of the bruise on her hand. Shinji Mato has a bad habit of treating his younger sister like crap. I noticed it about a year ago. Every now and then, I'd see Sakura injured. She always made excuses when I asked what happened. When I asked Shinji about it, he revealed to my shock that he'd been the one who hit Sakura. I asked why, and he told me it was because she'd done something he hadn't liked. I got pretty pissed off, so I did to Shinji what he'd done to Sakura. We haven't been on great terms since then. Senpai, have you made up with my brother? Huh? Yeah, sure. We never fought in the first place, so there's not much call for making up. That may be how you see it, but my brother doesn't see it the same way. He thinks you're still fighting, so you should be careful. Hmm? What Sakura says strikes me as odd. Be careful? Of Shinji? Yes, he's angry with you. And I hear he was the very reason why you quit the club. Shinji had nothing to do with me quitting. Well, he might have been a factor, but it's nothing that you should worry about. And Shinji's right. This is a little unsightly. I point at my left shoulder. There's a little scar there. It happened about a year and a half ago. Something fell on me during one of my jobs, injuring my left shoulder. I ended up with just a broken bone, but I also came away with a burn to my shoulder. After the accident, I quit the Kyudo club. Our school's Kyudo club, out of respect for formalities, allows students to perform sacred shooting rituals. Male students participating in this expose their left shoulder. Shinji pointed out that it may be disrespectful for someone performing a sacred shot to expose a scar. And since I was getting busy with my various jobs, I decided to quit the club. Senpai, I may ask this often, but are you never going to shoot again? Miss Fujimura even said your injury shouldn't affect your performance. Fujini would say that even if I'd broken every bone in my body. Senpai, I'm being serious. I know I should give her a serious answer, but unfortunately, I can't give Sakura the answer she's looking for. I don't have time to do club activities. I like Kyudo, but it's not something I should prioritize, so I think I'll give it a rest for a while. How long is a while? However long I feel like. Or maybe until it's time for you to graduate. I'm looking forward to having you look after me then, Sakura. I pat Sakura's shoulder. Oh, okay. I'll be waiting when that time comes. Alright, an ad break. That's wild. Feels like we just had one. For those of you subscribed, thank you. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you. For those of you using an ad blocker, honestly, still thank you. I'm just glad that you decided to take the time out of your day to listen to me read. This is basically just an audiobook with extra steps, so, you know, thank you. She nods so violently, it looks like she might drop the plates. It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujini have long since left the house for their morning club activities. I went to school early yesterday because Issei asked me to, but I leave the house at the usual time today. Book, but it's readable because of pictures. Right, exactly. A picture book. A book with visuals. A visual novel, if you will. I noticed something strange as I walked down the hill towards the intersection. Several police cars are parked in front of a house. Something must have happened, since a crowd has gathered. There are easily 20 people watching. I'm curious, but the mass of people prevents me from finding out what's happening. I don't have much time, so I should hurry to school. I make it to school 10 minutes before the first bell. As I cross through the gate with plenty of time as usual. Yeah. Morning, Emiya. I run into a familiar student. You haven't even changed yet, Mitsuzuri. War is about to start. You really don't have time to say hi to me. You're absolutely right. Matter of fact, as always, Emiya. I don't know what's so funny, but she laughs heartily, not caring about her surroundings. This is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's been a classmate of mine since we were first years, and she's currently the captain of the Kyudo Club. She's an unbelievably insightful person, and it was expected that she would be the team's next captain since her first year with him. Mitsuzuri's a precocious sort, and people have always had high hopes for her, and even leaned on her, ever since she was a first year. Then again, she gets mad whenever someone mentions that in front of her, claiming she doesn't look as old as people think. Huh? Were you just thinking something bad about me? I wouldn't dare. Just making an observation. If you want to get angry about it, that's your call. You don't say. That may be your honest answer, but you never say out loud what's really in that head of yours. Because unlike Shinji, you never let your true self show. Shinji? What's he got to do with this? No matter how much either of you protests, you and Shinji are friends. You're his only male friend. And let me remind you that I'm the captain of the Kyudo Club. Isn't it only natural for me to associate our club's troublemaker with our former troublemaker? I guess. The Kyudo Club's got nothing to do with it, but he and I go back a long way. I see you just got ticked off. You always get frosty whenever the Kyudo Club gets mentioned. You sure had some guts, quitting and leaving Shinji behind, you know? Did you not consider how the other people you left behind would feel, like Sakura and me? What? Did Shinji do something bad again? We never have a day where he doesn't do something. But he might have gone a bit too far yesterday. He made a first-year guy quit. Mitsuzuri sighs gravely. Seeing her look so serious is rare to begin with, but the rest of her story is particularly alarming. What the heck? Why'd he quit? Shinji took his anger out on him. He gathered all the female members and made the first year, who barely learned how to handle a bow, shoot his bow until he hit the target. Shinji mocked him the whole time. What? How could you let something like that happen? I would never let that happen. But a captain's got a lot to do, you know? You know very well that I don't live in the dojo. Well, yeah. What the hell was Shinji thinking? He may be harsher than the others, but he's not the type to make someone into a spectacle. Listen to you. There's something, Emiya. What do you mean by that? Are you just thinking something bad about me? I wouldn't dare. Just making an observation. If you want to get angry about it, that's your call. You. Using your own words against me. Using my own words against me. Reading. Fine. So what got into Shinji? Why'd he do that? I heard Tasaka shot him down pretty brutally. Tasaka? You mean that Tasaka? Do you know any other Tasakas in this school? A second-year honor student, Class A, Miss Perfect, Rin Tasaka. That's the first time I've heard that nickname. But it fits. It's no surprise Shinji got rejected. And knowing Tasaka, she probably had some pretty harsh insults to go with the rejection. Anyway, Shinji's been acting out since yesterday. And that's why I've had to watch him like a hawk at the dojo up until now. Shinji does have a low tolerance for some things. I know it might be tough. But good luck, Mitsuzuri. Yeah. But you know how Shinji never lets go of anything. I'm just afraid he might really do something bad the next time he asks Chisaka and gets rejected again. No, even Shinji wouldn't go near someone who just rejected him. He's good about that sort of thing. But what if the person who turned him down comes near him instead? I don't know why, but Chisaka swings by the dojo to come watch. Well. You quit, so you probably don't know that. That's news to me. Rin Chisaka doesn't participate in any club activities, because her family forbids it or something. She even turned down nominations to be a member of the student council, so I always thought she went straight home after school. I guess this isn't horrible once in a while. He always acted high and mighty, so it might be good for him to struggle for once. Sorry, but not sorry. Mitsuzuri has a weird way of looking at this. Now that I think about it, they say that Rin Chisaka has a lot of enemies. I wonder if Mitsuzuri is one of them too. Hey, Mitsuzuri, that's kind of cruel even for you. Oh, it's almost time. See you later, Emiya. You should swing by to see my bow work next time. Mitsuzuri hastily runs off. Mitsuzuri. I never minded just how forthright she always is. Honestly, Laz, the classic Mitsuzuri line is just a sitcom line. You could just insert a laugh track right there. Your lord. Feel a bit more at ease, and head towards the classroom. It's lunchtime. Our school has quite the cafeteria, and most of the students eat lunch there. But there are some old-fashioned students who still bring their own lunches, including myself and the student council president, sitting in front of me. Emiya, can I have some of your fried chicken? My lunch is kind of lacking in protein. Fine. But why is your lunch always so plain, Issei? I know you live in a temple, but there's no rule that prohibits you from consuming alcohol or meat, right? Absolutely not. That idea is anachronistic. This is just how my father does things. According to him, a young priest should not indulge themselves in luxuries, and if I want to complain, I should do something about it. So I'm actually considering joining the circus one of these days. Laugh track. Ah, that sounds like your old man. Issei's father is the priest at Ryudo Temple, a larger-than-life figure who's also friends with Fujini's grandfather. Anyone who gets along with old man Fujimura can't possibly be normal. Well then, here you go. You owe me. I passed my bento box to him. No, much thanks. This is pretty much begging for alms. Issei bows deeply. I honestly question whether I should be reminded that he's the son of a priest at times like this. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the commotion at the 2nd District? Around the intersection, you and I part ways going home. The intersection? Could it be the same intersection where I saw all the police cars this morning? Apparently, there was a murder there. I don't know the details, but only one child out of a family of 4 survived. Both parents and the older sister were stabbed to death, but by some sort of long weapon instead of typical knives. Long weapon? Does he mean a sword or something? If it's a murder, then that weapon killed the parents and the older sister. I can't help but imagine it. Someone sneaks in the house late at night. Unreasonable violence. A horrible nightmare the victim neither imagined nor wished for. Like a traffic accident. The parents are slaughtered. The older sister falls victim without knowing what is happening. A lone child, hidden in the shadows, is covered in their family's blood. Issei, did they catch the murderer? Doesn't look like it. Accidents stemming from faulty construction in Shinto. And now a murder with something like a sword here. It's no longer the school curfews are... What's wrong, Emiya? Did you choke on your lunch? Nothing. Why do you ask? Well, you had a stern look on your face, which surprised me. Sorry. I shouldn't bring this up while we're eating. Issei apologizes and tries to lighten the mood. I actually don't mind topics like this, and didn't realize I was looking so severe. And then, there's a gentle knock on the student council room's door. Sorry, is Ryudo here? Yes. What is it, sir? Mr. Kazuki enters, and Issei steps over to him to have a quiet conversation. It must be a casual student council matter, since Issei looks relaxed. Look at that. Something I don't see every day. Issei is surprisingly shy. He keeps his distance from classmates and even teachers. But for some reason, he's warmed up to the student council advisor, Mr. Kazuki. Maybe they get along because they're both straight-laced. Soichiro Kazuki is the homeroom teacher for Class 2A, and he's very serious and kind of weird. Some part of that is probably why he and Issei get on so well. The two continue to talk. As I watch them, I can't stop thinking about the murder. Yes, it's true. New fans of Fate Stay Night. Is such a thing even possible? And they're getting into it the right way. Supposedly. I'm doing the visual novel first. I really want to get into Fate Strange Fake because the author of it is the author of Baccano and Durarara, and I love both Baccano and Durarara. So I figured I should, play in order and get the most lore possible. Yeah, I mean, a little of Fate Zero just because Gen Urobuchi was like one of my obsessions a decade or so ago. I love Madoka, I love Psychopaths, but I figured I want to get into it properly, so I tried starting the fan translation and I didn't get really far. And I figured, you know what, I'm streaming now, so let's try this again. And oh, look at that, there's an official release of like all of Type Moon's visual novels just kind of happening all at once. Like the sequel to this is also happening. So I figured, why not play this in the sequel and then Fate Zero, and then I should probably be ready for Strange Fake, I'd imagine. And hopefully by then, Strange Fake will actually be airing. Nasu's works are peak, so forgive if Stay Night, Holotraxia, etc. Nah. No, it's fine. I get it. I mean, it's also the start of the franchise, so it just makes sense to start here. And the first arc, or the first, route of the visual novel doesn't actually have a proper adaptation, so this is really the only good starting point. I also tried playing a little bit of Grand Order. But, that's the thing, Laz. I'm kind of turned off to all gachas, even if the stories are good. Like, even Octopath Champions of the Continent. I love Octopath. And I can't do it. I can't gacha anymore. I'm gacha'd out. It's not like I don't think I've ever spent more than like $5 on a single gacha. It's not that. It's just oof, Very oof. But yeah. Thank you for watching on YouTube, by the way. Fate Apocrypha, when you get to, is going to be a romp of an anime. I saw, some animation from it because I know Ichiro, not Shiro, Emiya, Summer in the Eternal Seasons, the group I'm in, was watching it, and, it looked crazy. But yeah. That's why I wanted to start properly. As I watch them, I can't stop thinking about the murder. No worries. Thank you for watching on YouTube, by the way. I really appreciate it. If you like this, I will be playing it every Sunday I can. I'll usually be starting earlier because I usually work Mondays through Thursdays, but Labor Day tomorrow, so I get the day off. So I figured I could do a little longer stream a little later. But yeah, I usually stream this on Twitch and YouTube every Sunday. So if you want, you can subscribe, or I'll usually end up posting the schedule every night after these streams, or every morning, depending on what my mental state is, I guess. But yeah, for those of you watching on Twitch, you can watch on YouTube. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can watch on Twitch. Twitch gains you access to emotes and more interaction, like channel point stuff. Except when I forget to start all the channel point stuff, like an idiot. But yeah, let me do that now, I guess. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Yeah, on Twitch you can throw stuff at me. That is true. Ow. Like that. Like that. And that. Like they did. It's quite fun. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Thank you. Okay. Ow, ow, ow. Yes, okay. Ow, ow. I swear. Hydrate's like a cheat code, because it's a tenth of the price of throw everything at me. But I mean, you also only get the me drinking redeem and like, or me drinking emote and water emotes. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Thank you for demonstrating. Ow. Thank you for demonstrating, for anyone lurking who's new to watching on Twitch or YouTube, that yes, you can throw things at me. And it's a hobby for some people, and that's okay. I don't hobby shame, as long as it's not hurting others. I mean, it hurts me, but like, I've got a pretty big head. I've got a thick skull. You're fine. Ow. Classes end, and it's time to go home. I can't wander around because I have work today. I shouldn't do anything at school. I should head straight to the neighboring town. Maybe the morning's conversation bothered me more than I realized. Next thing I know, I'm at the Kyudo Club. Ugh. What am I thinking? Mitsuzuri and Rintasaka frequently visits. Or, Mitsuzuri said Rintasaka frequently visits. Well, I hadn't thought of that. But I think it'd be a problem if Shinji got violent against Tasaka. Shinji's unstoppable when he gets mad. Shinji lashing out at Tasaka because she rejected him would be bad. Well, I don't know exactly how. But it'd just be bad. Oh. Tasaka's not even here. Tasaka's nowhere to be found around the dojo. Mitsuzuri worried for nothing. Who's not here? I'm asking. Who's not here? Issei, who I thought I'd parted ways with, is standing right next to me. And looking like he's on some fresh Zaza. 420 blaze at Issei. I wouldn't say yaoi, but Issei, who I thought I'd parted ways with, is standing right next to me. Zelda achievement. Hey, I'm good background noise. It's basically an audiobook anyway, Haley, so you're not missing too much if you're just lurking. Plus, we're still pretty much at the start, so yeah. Issei, who I thought had parted ways with, is standing right next to me. Why are you here, Issei? Don't scare me like that. I saw you snooping around the dojo and couldn't help but come check it out. So, who are you saying is not here? Well, it's Tosaka. I heard she had a spat with Shinji yesterday, so I wanted to make sure things were okay. Is that so? Giving up more information than you have to is kind of suspicious for you. I only asked you who wasn't here. Suspicious? Sus? Like Among Us? I'll take a screenshot for that. Alright. What? It's none of your business what I do around here. But it's pointless, Emiya. Osaka isn't here. She cut class today. What? Cut class? So she's absent? I see. Wait, Issei, why do you think she cut class? It's not the sort of thing she'd ever do. Water Temple, 3 hearts, no maps, no compasses. Oh, you're doing the 3. Oh, that's that right. You're actually achievement hunting. God bless. Good luck. Of course she would. She's not the type to ever get sick. You want to know what I think? She's bad. Don't let her looks fool you, Emiya, or she'll swallow you whole. I mean, but isn't there another achievement for doing it 100%? So this is your first playthrough, your 3-heart run, and then your second playthrough will be your 100% run. Just think of it like that. Somehow, what Issei's saying irritates me. I may not know Tosaka that well, but I don't think she's a bad person. Watch what you say, Issei. You know Tosaka's not like that. With a glitch, this 100% are doable in the same save file because Naruto locks out a map. Oh. Have you got a secret crush on Tosaka too? My apologies if so. Forget what I said. Secret crush? Like hell. Don't make assumptions. I'm just worried Shinji's gonna stir up some trouble. So you came in here to sweep in and stop Shinji from attacking Tosaka. You really were going to take on some dirty work for nothing. It's not my place to say this, but you got bad taste, Emiya. I'm unscathed so far because nothing happened. But Issei, what was that crap you were saying? What? That having the hots for Tosaka is in bad taste? Yeah, that. Tosaka's popular. I haven't heard any bad rumors about her. No, you haven't. And that's what bothers me. What part bothers you? Everything about her. That woman's a vixen, a minx, a monster. Anyway, I instinctually dislike her. My advice to you is to not fall for her. Okay, Laz, I'm on you in the yaoi train now. I get it. I get it. You're right, Laz. I'm right there with you. You're the one who always warns everyone not to talk about people behind their back. Also, I do know about the glitch for inside Jabba Jabba's belly that lets you, like, pretend to be Ruto's behind. A lot of it's timing, I'm pretty sure. Oh, come on. This hardly counts as gossip. I'm even talking loud enough for others to hear. Women are awful, bro. I'd never betray you, bro. Take off your pants, bro. Pretty much. I feel that. Issei. At first I thought you were just a concerned bestie that doesn't like showing emotion, but Issei, come on. Come on now, friend. Come on, Ninfriendo DS. Come on. No wonder I sense people watching us. Well, that's a relief. I'm really glad Tasaka's absent today. Issei, please. Can we talk a little quieter? Something in DMs for more proof that this gay man affectionate? Alright, I'm down. If you say so. Understood. But I'll have you know my words were hardly slander. I just want to let you know that I'm wary of Rin Tasaka. Everything I said is just my own personal opinion. Yet you use words like vixen and minx. I'm pretty sure minx is definitely a derogatory term. Don't worry about it. It's a compliment. There are good vixens and monsters too, you know. I simply use those terms to describe her in a good way. Wow, you're a monster. / pause. Issei laughs. I'll see you later. I'm going back to the student council room. But you're going to your job, right? You really shouldn't waste your time hanging around here then. Issei leaves calm and composed, perhaps because he felt satisfied having said everything he wanted to say. I've known him for 2 years now, but honestly, I still don't get that guy. Alright, I will use this as a stopping point. It has been over 2 hours, and it's a scene transition, so... And I've got a lot of stuff to do tonight. So, we will leave it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Good job getting the boss key, Haley. Congratulations, congratulations. Alright. No hot blonde man yet. Every Sunday, yeah. Every Sunday I can, anyway. Sundays are a bit provisional in the schedule for me. Usually I start a few hours earlier also, because I usually have to get sleep early so I can not be dead at my job the following Monday. So, yeah, every Sunday. And you can catch all the VODs in the stream section on the YouTube channel. I will go ahead and raid... Who haven't I raided in a while? Oh, Ryer's streaming Umineko When They Cry. Sure. Let's raid another visual novel streamer. That sounds like a good idea. Thank you all so much. If you're subscribed, use the first option. If you are not, use the second. Dutch No, thank you so much for the head pats. And thank you all for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe if you like to see this. And if you're on Twitch, make sure you're following. It does support, or it does help, rather. Alright. And if you have any feedback, comments, questions, emotional outbursts, suggestions for how to better spice things up or improve my reading, just let me know. I'm always pretty open. And there are plenty of links to join the Discord and find me on socials. Thank you for being here, Boots, and Laz, and Dutch now, and Haley, and everyone that lurked. And on the YouTube side, everyone that lurked, as well as Mr. Inu Hanyo. Mr. Inu Hanyo. Thank you. Alright. Have a good night. See y'all next week. Bye-bye.